Oh man, am I ready to showcase this game. This is Vtol VR, vertical takeoff or landing, and it is a flight simulator of some combat aircraft. Damn, is it hard! But I think I've gotten the gist of the controls and just sort of the general hang of everything. This actually is the plane that I'll be flying. It's convenient. That's what I'm going to be flying, and it can hover straight in the air, or you could do your typical takeoff, whatnot. Let me readjust my position here. This is the front of my room. I'm going to go ahead and select my profile here. You can see I've got 9.5 hours into this game, and I bought it probably, I don't know, a couple of days ago. Jesus, like I'm terrified to fly. Correction, I'm terrified of crashing and dying while 30,000 feet in the air. I've always really liked fighter jets. Ever since I was a little kid, and the game Top Gun came out on the NES, the Nintendo Entertainment System. I always thought it'd be so cool, and of course, the movie Top Gun being a huge, I don't want to say inspiration, but you know, you just want to be in a dogfight. When you're a kid, I wanted to be in a plane. I had these toy planes, right? And I always imagined that having some sort of X-Man superpower to where I could shrink myself down, turn that plane into a real miniature plane, and fly around my house like killing flies and wasps and all kinds of other bugs that I hated, and just chasing them down, man. And I never thought that there would be a game that would actually put me in a as realistic as it can get simulator and do dogfights. You know, I always thought I'd be the best I'd ever get would be something on the computer, or you know, Top Gun on, or some combat game on a console. And this game, I believe, was done by one guy, and thanks to him, I kind of get to fulfill that childhood fantasy. And I can't say enough good things about this game. I've got, this is the aircraft, little information on it, but I've got most of the stuff down. I'm not very good at, well, I'm not good at all landing on the carrier. I can't refuel in the air because I'm really, really bad. And the combat in this game is, there's no tutorial for the combat, so you have to go on YouTube and, you know, find someone who doesn't annoy the hell out of you to explain how a lot of things works. But I'm starting to get better and better at it. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and we'll do the we'll go through the campaigns before we get to actual combat. We'll do the training so you can see what it is. I'm gonna skip the training. I'm just gonna go straight to the mission and kind of explain it as I go along. And I'll try to work the cam. There's a spectator cam, which is one of the greatest features. I'll show you that here in a minute. But we'll go ahead and start off with the first mission. I'm going to ignore the training. You know, your training consists of, you know, cockpit familiarization. You know what? Screw it. We'll just go through and we'll do all the training so you can see it. The briefing mission's really cool. I'll give everyone a second to read that. I'm not going to read it out loud. Go ahead and pause it if you want to read it. Give you about 3 seconds on each screen to pause and read, if you care. Okay, now it's just restarting. All right, let's get in the cockpit. this I kind of actually like. At first, I was like, "Oh, come on, put me in some sort of room," but I kind of like this. Let's get going.
Welcome to the AV-42C. First, let's keep the bird from rolling away by using the brake lock. Now let's move on to the startup sequence. First, turn on the main battery. Now start the auxiliary power unit, or APU. This will keep the battery charged while we complete the startup sequence. Wait a moment to allow the APU to spool up. We're now ready to start up the engines. Keep an eye on the engine gauges and wait for the RPM to settle.
I'm gonna wait for him to.
The engines are now supplying electrical power, so we can turn off the APU.
Okay, one of my gripes about this game, I have two gripes. I can't make. Okay, I have two gripes. One, he kind of goes a little fast because when you look at the cockpit, when I first bought this game, it was overwhelming. It really was. And I can't imagine this is it for an actual aircraft, but being a civilian, having zero experience in all of this, flying, whatever, it was a little overwhelming. The tutorials, they kind of go a little bit fast, and there's a lack of tutorials. I mean, it's still early access, so you can't really bitch too much about it, but that is one of my gripes is with the tutorials, there's a lack of tutorials, and I can't go back and hear what he said because as I'm looking around trying to absorb everything, he just kind of talks and talks and talks, and then I've missed several things. And the other one is I can't smack the fucking bobblehead. That pisses me off. I should have different bobbleheads to choose from. But okay, anyway, back to the tutorial.
Now we can turn on the heads-up display. The HUD, or heads-up display, shows you attitude, altitude, velocity, targeting reticles, and other important flight data at a glance. Now turn on the multifunction displays, or MFDs.
See, when he was explaining all that, when he went through like the attitude, the altitude, the combat reticles, all that stuff, it went too fast, and I couldn't absorb like really what that meant. I'm like, wait, what did he say? What did he say? How do I go back? Can't do it. Ugh, frustrating.
The MFDs give you access to aircraft features such as weapon configuration, navigation maps, sensors, etc. You can access these features by pressing the corresponding buttons around the edge of the monitor.
These are the different modes that you can see in Spectator Cam, and they change. Hang on.
We'll talk about basic flight controls, taxiing, takeoff, and landing.
Okay. Wait, are you gonna keep going? Need a break? Okay, mission complete. Continue to flight. So, this is the Spectator Cam. You saw I kind of toggled through the different modes, but the modes, they kind of change as it goes along. So if I click here, and it gets really loud because you hear the engine like you're right next to it, which is kind of annoying. And then when he talks and you're in spectator mode, you could still hear me, but you can't hear him, which you kind of don't like. But you have your stationary cam, you have the fly along, which basically you're kind of like, think of you as the fly along as you're like my wingman. Fixed. This is really cool. I actually have a little tiny camera that I get to see. Oh. Okay, sorry. Yeah, there's a little tiny camera right here that I could look at and do some explanations. So if I wanted to say, okay, well, you know, here you have your engine, you know, your brake lock. I can open and close the back door to let people in and out, so on and so forth. It's a really good way to do guides, to get a different perspective, and you could get some really cool shots and make your own, basically your own combat flight movie, whatever, you know. And there's some really cool shots that I really want to try to learn how to get. Once I get better, I'm going to do a lot more combat, and whenever I try to do like a barrel roll out of the way of a missile while dropping some flares, get some really badass shots. Let's see what other modes we have here. Now the fixed mode you saw earlier, it was on this side. Now it's on this side. One of my biggest, well, I guess the third complaint that I have as far as spectator mode, I wish I could go in and, unless I'm missing something here, and I don't think that I am, I could just pick the mode. Like, what side in this fixed do I want it? Do I want it right here, or do I want it back over there? So, but then chase mode, which is really cool. The chase mode, whenever this is the one I want to try to use when I get chased by a missile to do my my barrel roll to get out of the way. The preset views, I'm not quite sure what that one is, and smooth look is back in the cockpit. So for right now, we're gonna just stay on this mode. All right, so brake lock off. Oh wait, no, we finished it. So go back, finish the mission, we'll go on to the next one. Basic flight, takeoff and landing. The landing, I am so terrible at lining myself up with the landing strip, especially in the aircraft carrier. Jesus, is that hard. Takeoff's no big deal. Mission briefing again, I'm going to give you guys about 3 seconds on each screen to read these. Alright, those are the two. Let's get this bitch going. Smack my my goggles here. Oh, you turn everything on for me. So nice.
We'll skip the startup procedure now and pick up where we left off in the last one. The main flight controls are the joystick and throttle. You can grip them by holding the grip buttons, or toggle lock your hands to them by tapping the grip buttons. Let's start with taxiing.
Oh.
Grab onto the main flight controls now.
Don't tell me what to do, asshole. Alright, there we go.
To steer the front wheel, you will have to twist the joystick on the vertical axis. In order to get moving, you need to tilt the engines to the forward position. Start by holding the throttle trigger to lock the wheel brakes.
See it right there.
Press and hold up on the throttle thumb control to tilt the engines forward. The indicator here shows the status of the engine tilt. Now if you release the brakes and slightly lift the throttle lever, you will start to roll. Apply small amounts of throttle or brakes to control your speed. Don't go too fast. Try taxiing over to the marked waypoints.
Okay, so I want to give a brief explanation of what the tilt is, because at first I had no idea what that was. Okay, so what the tilt is it's the position of your engine. So when you take a look, I'm at my tilt is at 90 degrees right now. Okay, pay attention to the engines. The tilt, basically you can see they have an upright position. So whenever I lower the tilt, the engines are pushed back, which allows me to gain thrust to go forward. That's very important. I put it back down to 90. So this is what I'm going to use in hover mode. It has to be at 90 degrees in order for me to hover. So that's just what that means. I'm going to put them back in the position so I can go do a regular takeoff. Alright, brake lock off, and we're going to start to go forward. Nice and smooth. I can't tell you how nervous I was the first time I did this because of my fear of flying. This is really helping me get over that. Well, for as much as it can, as far as the heights and all the other stuff, because if I crash in this, you know, I get up, I scream the word fuck, get up and go get a drink, sit back down and try again. I do that in real life, I die. So that fear will always still be there. But this really does help.
Stop here. Throttle down and hold the throttle brake trigger.
Well, I didn't throttle up,
Let's
so
prepare for a conventional takeoff.
this is throttle up.
Set the brake lock so you can free up your hands. Set the flaps to position 1. Make sure all flight assists are enabled. They should be already.
What the fuck?
Double check that the engines are tilted all the way forward. The indicator should read 0. Now grab the throttle again and hold the brakes.
See, I was trying to do the things that he said, and he kept going. That's a good example of what I was talking about earlier. So yeah.
While holding the brakes with your left. Okay, now taxi onto runway 20.
So basically, it was saying take your brake lock off and hold the trigger. You can see it down there. All right, so I leave my throttle all the way down and just coast because it makes it easier. If I throttle up, I start going forward really fast. You got to be careful because you can flip your craft while driving by going too fast. You can see the brake down there. And stop.
To take off, raise the throttle to full and steer to keep aligned with the runway. Keep speeding up straight down the runway.
All right, here we go. You're nice and easy. That sun is right in my eyes.
Now carefully rotate the joystick back to pull the nose up. Great, you're in the air.
There we go.
Now you can raise the landing gear and set flaps to landing gear. Now gently steer your nose up to about 20 degrees and keep climbing.
So we're going to get to 1,000 meters. You could change to go from meters to miles and miles per hour to kilometers and so on and so forth.
Let's practice with the basic flight controls. Rotate the joystick left or right to roll towards your target. Rotate the joystick forward or back to pitch your nose towards it. This icon on the heads-up display shows your velocity vector, which is the direction you're actually moving.
Yep.
Fly over to the target waypoint. Try to keep your movement smooth and avoid pulling too hard as this can cause a stall.
Nice and smooth, and everything looks so slow, but it's not. This, I think, is close to 400 miles per hour. Nice and easy. Nice and easy. You don't want to jerk too hard on this because you really can whip this bitch around and you can stall and crash. Pretty simple. Let's get a little bit of music.
Great. Fly over to the next waypoint.
I'm gonna stall here. Start to stall. I wish I could do like a hard bank or knew how to do a hard bank like they do in the movies. Pull up a little bit. And it shows you how much or how many G's, the G-force or whatever it's called, shows how many are there. You can actually begin to lose consciousness if you go too hard. You put yourself in a position where
Now let's try landing at the airbase.
that's so pretty.
Landing at the next waypoint.
Sorry, I know God damn it. I'm trying to get better at not trailing off and what the hell I'm saying, but you know, if you create too much G-force, everything will start to go red. And I haven't passed out, but I'm assuming that's what that means, is your character can pass out because it is a real thing. Pull up a little bit.
Free your left hand to bring your flaps and landing gear down. Then continue to bring your speed down.
Oh, overshot. See this? You would think it's easier than... Oh wow, I did it. Okay.
Maintain your speed and glide slope. Keep your vector on the target.
What's my vector? Oh. Yeah, see, look.
Getting close. Prepare to flare your nose up for a nice smooth landing.
Some brakes, oops. Overshot a little bit, but bring up the nose a little.
Gently bring your nose down now. Keep steering down the runway. Throttle down and carefully apply brakes.
Okay, that was one of my better landings. Not too shabby.
Congratulations. This concludes the basic flight tutorial. Next time, we'll make use of the tilting engines and practice vertical takeoffs and landings.
All right, not too bad. Not super complicated once you have a basic understanding of everything here. Yeah, I mean, this game, man, it is so worth it. It's $30, and even if the guy, like most other indie developers who create games, even if he doesn't finish and leaves this game as is right now, it is worth more than $30. If you have a VR headset and you have any sort of appreciation for planes, flying, or anything like that, I really encourage you to go check this game out, because damn is it fun. All right, I will see you in the next video.